What up with it? What's good? What it do? Que paso? Que ondas? However you say it from wherever you're from, thank you again for being with us. This is another fun day. You've tuned into us again. So, thank you again. It's been so long, but thank you again for being with us. I am one half of the co-hosting team, and this lady over here is who?
I'm Liz.
And this is
Marriage for Grown Folks.
A really cool place. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah.
I make sure you take your shoes off. All right. Take your shoes off. We'll take your coat. Stay a while. You know what I mean? Have a beverage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Coffee.
Get you some coffee, some tea,
Mm-hmm.
and just.
Or water, whatever you
prefer. And enjoy the show. Let's have a good one.
All right.
We've been gone for a while.
It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of good to be back in the swing of things.
I mean, we have shows out there. We just haven't been in the studio.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
There's a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference, right? And if you haven't noticed, we've got kind of slowed down on the output on purpose, all right? On the output on purpose. We were slapping something together every week, and now we just want to make sure we take our time with it, make sure we get the best product out there. Obviously, we appreciate you guys listening on Apple. Yeah, because definitely, I noticed that our numbers on YouTube went down, and I was like, what's going on? I'm like, people are listening somewhere else.
Oh, rather than looking at us.
Right. Don't nobody want to see our face all the time?
But we get all dressed up.
Right. Well, kind of, sort of. You look great.
Thank you.
You look great.
Thanks.
Look at you.
This is our night out.
Look
Except it's in the middle of the day.
Right, in the middle of the day.
It's date
Either
night.
way, it works.
Date day.
It works.
Yeah.
Date day. We are the king and queen of dates, of day dates.
Day dates.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how you doing?
I'm okay. Like I said, I'm ready to get back in to the swing of things, and apparently I can't totally speak, and that's okay. But I'm okay. Had an eventful day so far, right? Run through a couple things.
Yeah, man.
Now we're here. Got a couple more things to do after this.
Look, it don't stop.
Nope. Can't stop. Oh, no. Not
right.
Can't
Copyright infringement.
Can't
Gotta
say
be
that.
careful now. We're learning more. We're learning more about the trade.
Mm-hmm.
All right? But you can only use a little bit. Just a little bit. We can get some stuff off. We just can't go too hard on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready for temp check?
Temp check.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Remember that?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So I have a couple questions for you.
Cool.
Gonna ask those questions and then we'll run through.
All right. Let's have
Next
some
segment. All right. Do you consider yourself to be a traveler or a homebody?
You know I'm a homebody, but I love to travel. Well, no, I don't. I don't love to travel.
I was gonna say.
I'm a homebody. I am a homebody.
He is a homebody.
I am a homebody.
He is not lying to you.
It is what it is. How about yourself?
I'm a traveler.
Okay.
But I'm not taking any more trips because somebody said I have to take a break.
Yeah. Vacation is over. I told you this about a month ago, but you keep finding ways to create more vacation time.
We were supposed to go somewhere together.
Did you just find a way to still attempt to throw another vacation on top of 1,000 different places we've been in the past 4 or 5 months?
And then my birthday's in December, so we have to go somewhere.
Look, man, let me tell you something. Okay, next one, please.
Okay.
We're not doing this.
All right. Name a show, movie, website, or app that you consider to be a guilty pleasure.
Say it again.
A show, movie, website, or app that you consider to be a guilty pleasure.
A guilty pleasure. I don't know. I guess Tubi.
I love Tubi.
Well, Tubi's coming along.
Tubi.
Right. It's coming along. Because remember, it was just some really
mess.
questionable, some questionable
Movies.
content that was on there.
Yeah.
But I guess that's how it is when you begin anything, right? You start from the bottom and then you end up where you are. And yeah, I guess Tubi. They've come a long way. I still haven't subscribed, but I watch the free movies because they always got the good. They had Beat Street on.
Yes.
They had Beat Street on last week. I watched Beat Street.
I watched Django, I think it was.
Yeah?
I was watching Django. I watched another, I don't know. I watched a bunch of shows.
Right. Yeah.
When I get my hair braided.
Yeah, they always got goodies on Tubi.
We run Tubi. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a few.
Sure.
So not shows or movies, but apps. So websites. I go to New York Times for Wordle pretty much every day. And it's a guilty pleasure because it's like, why do you do this every day? But I do it every day and I'm committed to it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then I love playing Royal Match, which is not really, it's just a game on, but I guess you have to download. Anyway, whatever. So Royal Match, I love that along with the Tetris. And I'm faithful to my Duolingo.
Copy that. You said they harass you all the time. Duolingo.
Duo trolls me.
Okay. It sounds like they're doing their job. I would like to talk to their marketing department.
They're onto something.
They're onto something. Just harass people so they feel bad about it. They just click on and.
I mean, at 7 a.m, he's like, "Did we break up?"
Oh. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I'm like, it's 7. What do you mean?
It's brilliant. I dig that.
It's pretty good. But I consider those guilty pleasures because
taking some notes.
I feel guilty when I don't get to it. It's like a checklist of things I love to do.
Right.
All right.
What else you got?
Job. Okay. Name a job you believe you'd be very good at. I think I know the answer to this one.
I want to host Family Feud. I want to host a game show. I really do. I'm putting that out in the ethos now.
Go ahead,
I want to host a game show. I think the energy between myself and the energy with the crowd and whatever the platform, because the actual platform ain't even that deep.
The next Tom Brady?
Tom Brady? You mean Wayne Brady?
Wayne Brady, sorry. Yeah,
nah,
Wayne Brady.
I think I'm flyer than Wayne Brady, but I get it.
You are flyer than
I'm
Wayne
thinking
Brady.
Steve Harvey.
No shade, Wayne Brady.
I think it's Steve Harvey. No, I would love to host a game show. Wear something nice every day. You don't really have to really do much other than host it because the show has a template, So you're kind of the personality that makes the show go round, I think.
The hosting is the hard part.
I don't think so. I think putting a show together would be tough because you got to get crowds and you got to get the crowd in there. You have to actually design the game or the platform. That content never changes. I mean, that content never stops. So those writers got to be there. I think the person who stands up and delivers, that might be the easy part. You're the glue. But I don't think that would be hard for me.
And this is why you should be hosting.
I'm with it. I'm putting it out there in the ethos. I don't know about Family Feud. Steve kind of got that on lock. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But there's so many shows. We live in LA. You know what I mean? There's so many shows out there.
You can host The Price is Right.
Price is Right. I'm with it. Come on down. Yeah. A new car.
There we go.
Yeah, I could do that.
Oh, you definitely could.
I can do that.
All right.
How about you?
A city. Oh, wait. So a job that I believe I'd be really good at?
Absolutely.
I think if I went back to school, that I'd be a great anesthesiologist.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think there'd be a lot of dead people. An anesthesiologist with your ADD?
Wait a second.
You forget what you were doing. Phone go off.
Disrespectful.
Something pops into your head. You'd be all over the place.
No, it's quick work.
Doobie.
The studying is the long work.
Uh-huh.
The actual job, like the service, the things that you're doing, that's quick work. You're just going from one to the next. It's quick.
Okay. I mean, it's about what you believe you could do. I would not want to be under your anesthesia needle. I don't trust you with that.
Well, thank God you don't have to.
You're right. I'm on the board, the governing board.
Huh.
Anesthesiologist.
All right, next question.
Amnesiologist.
That was cute. City, state, or country you'd never visit again?
City, state, or country I'd never visit again. Ohio. For some reason, that state, there's something going on there, man. It feels like
Twilight Zone.
Like the Twilight Zone. And not all of it, because I haven't visited the entire state of Ohio. It's not fair. But when we do visit there, and it's been a long time since I've been there, it does feel
It's been like 2 years for me.
okay. It kind of feels like it's still 1998, 99, maybe 2003. Something going on there.
Yeah.
Something going on.
So
How about you?
I was gonna choose Elmira.
I can't even remember Elmira. It was Ohio. That's what it was.
It felt a lot like Ohio.
Ohio-ish.
So I couldn't say Ohio because I have family there.
Ohio.
And so
residents
whenever
would
I
kill us.
visit, and whenever I visit Ohio, it is to visit family. So I wasn't going to say Ohio, but then I was like, well, what's my second guess? My second guess would be Elmira. We used to go there. You played, what was the team? Hudson Valley? something?
Elmira Bulldogs.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And that felt like the Twilight Zone. It felt very much like Ohio.
Same energy.
Yeah.
Don't kill us, Ohio. We don't mean nothing by it. Y'all know it ain't.
It's not for us.
It ain't for us. As we come from this major city of Hartford, Connecticut, right? This metropolis called Hartford, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. What else you got?
Last question.
Yes, ma'am.
If you were a season, which would you be and why?
If I were a season, what would I be and why? I'm definitely... I'm the fall. I'm definitely the fall.
So like the season that we're in right now, this
I'm the fall.
this is your
No,
thing.
I didn't say it's my season. I would be the fall. I'm right after what people think is all the fun, but right before the real important stuff happens. All of the holidays and the changing of the year. I'm right about there. I'm warm enough, right, so you can have a good time, but I'm also cool enough to let you know it's time to get some stuff done. It's about to get real out here. How about you?
I'd probably pick spring.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm into like rebirth, recentering, recalibration, and spring is that, right?
Yeah.
It's the manifestation of what has all happened in the winter, right? And so I appreciate that, and it's also a precursor to summer, and that's my favorite season.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
You are definitely a summer girl.
I love the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, yeah.
So you're spring.
I'd choose spring.
And I'm
yes.
fall.
Yeah.
All right. I get it. It matches.
We're like the intercession
There you go.
of the main seasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Summer and winter. Right. As long as I ain't winter, I'm good.
It's so interesting because my Spanish tutor is from Argentina and she's on the southern hemisphere, right? We're northern, she's southern.
I'm listening.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know.
So we're northern though. That's the question I'm asking.
Hey, bro.
You. So I believe we're northern and she's southern. And so because of it, every time after we've been together for 3 years now, and every time after summer, she starts to wear her shorter sleeves and things like that. And so I start to ask her questions. It's so wild to me because it is hot for her on Christmas.
Hot. Like hot. Like summer hot.
Yes.
Okay.
So the way, in the United
we live
States.
in LA, so it ain't never really cold.
Right.
Cold. Right.
Exactly. But coming from the Northeast and all of that, right? Our first thoughts, or at least my thoughts of Christmas, are always snow, white, snowmen, things like that, right? And that is not their depiction. And so she showed me this image.
That's not their reality.
It's not their reality. And so she showed me this image that was supposed to be of Christmas, and it was the total opposite.
Yeah.
I was just like, so every time I see her, 'cause I'm saying that because we had a session, and when we did, she had on like no sleeves. She had a sleeveless shirt on.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my goodness, like you really are getting ready for summer. She's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, and things are just starting to dwindle here. So thinking about the seasons and how they transition, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. People will say like when they relocate, they miss the changing of the seasons if they move somewhere that's predominantly hot or cold or whatever. But it's interesting to even know the differences between the hemispheres.
Right. We think we know. We just sounded off on something that we think we know. The hemispheres.
I asked her. I think we're northern hemisphere. I believe that that's where we're at.
I mean, it
And
makes
so-
sense because Argentina's where it is.
Yeah,
you
because
know,
the
if you look
equator
on the-
is what
yeah.
it is, so it's
And it
north.
makes sense.
And then,
Argentina's down there. That
Mhm.
makes sense. You know,
So that's my
an
assumption.
educated guess,
Yes.
I would say.
Right. So
Right.
don't come for me if I'm wrong.
Right. Or, deal with it. Imperfect. All right? We are experts on nothing. So, what else you got?
Except marriage, right?
I mean, look. In a court of law, 10 years of anything makes you an expert. In a court of law, 10
Okay.
years.
10,000 hours.
Right, 10,000 hours, even though Malcolm Gladwell has now walked that back because he's had an epiphany about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're done with temp check.
Okay.
Did you want to add anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. What are you listening to right now?
You know what I've been listening to?
What?
Music Soul Child.
Ah,
And there's a reason for it.
tell me.
Music Soul Child, I'm really interested, and I told you, I've been really interested in the different sounds of when we grew up to when we were, coming into our own
The
as adults.
2000.
And yeah, and I talked about this already about, you like to say runoff. I like to say like a fragrance or the leftover, of. But it kind of feels like the 2000s, once again, was the forgotten, that 2000 to like 2005. Like it was like the forgotten phase of music. But when you look at it, it was really a runoff, as you say, of the 90s, just a different perspective from the 90s. So Music Soul Child was probably one of the quintessential listening pieces of the time. You know what I mean? And I think you and I were speaking about, when we first heard his first one, I Just Want to Sing.
Yes.
And, we know exactly where we were. There was no social media per se. So when you had to hear it, it became like a viral thing because somebody told somebody who told somebody who told somebody
Right.
who told somebody, even though he had Sonny on the airwaves, which was killing. But that whole project was fantastic. What I did notice was that his sophomore project was not as good as I thought I remembered it to be. And I was like, this wasn't what I thought it was in my head. And then you jump to the one he did in like 2003, I believe it is. And that was a lot better. I can't think of the title of it, but his third project. I'm like, okay, he's here. He's here. But yeah, I've been digging into his catalog. And boy, does music have, maybe he should be sung more. He should be lauded more for his approach. He should be respected more for his vocal ability.
Mhm.
And I think he was, if you want me to kind of nerd out for a little bit,
Go for it.
that Dilla sound that kind of happened by accident that everyone jumped on from D'Angelo to
Mhm.
Questlove, that Dilla sound that kind of resonated through the sound waves, Erykah Badu, what do they call it? They hated, even though the artists hated being called this, it was the neo soul movement. And that's
Oh.
really Dilla's sound.
Artists didn't like that?
They didn't like the fact that it was being genred under something other than R&B.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, it was
Soulstar.
Soul Star was that third one.
Mhm.
That was the one I was like, okay, because his sophomore project, maybe they called it sophomore slump, maybe his sophomore slump, and it wasn't a bad project. I just remembered it being a lot better than what it was. But that third project was, I'm like, okay, now I'm a fan. I'm looking for everything you're doing now, bro. But also, just in that same arena regarding the 2000s, I also listened last night to the Dave Hollister. He had a couple of projects that I jumped into. 86, the movie. Chicago, 86, the movie.
I think so.
Yep, Chicago. And then he had, I think there was one after or before prior to that one. And I was just listening to the writing style.
Mhm.
And I said, I forgot that the person,
Chicago 85.
Chicago 85, the movie.
Mhm.
And then what was the project after that?
It was Things in the Game
Things in the Game.
Do.
Yeah.
Things in the Game Do.
Yeah. But
Oh, sorry. Things in the Game Done Changed.
then changed.
Mhm.
Right. But it was the one prior to that. It was the first one. Came in the door.
Ghetto
Yeah.
Hymns.
Ghetto Hymns.
Mhm.
I think I was listening to Ghetto Hymns.
Okay.
And what year is that?
99.
99. And I listened to it. I said, this writing style sounds very familiar.
What was it?
It's the guy that we're no longer allowed to talk about.
Got
and
it.
I was like, oh, that's why things became very wordy. Everybody became very wordy, very conversational in the lyrics and in the sound. I'm like, oh, this is Robert Kelly. Everybody was writing because he was in that TP2 mode and he was the guy. And everything that he was touching was gold. You know what I mean? Because he was writing and penning for Maxwell to Omarion, to like he was penning for everybody.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, they was not biting him, but there was the sound that they were trying to capture. And even if you listen to, like, you look at the track lists for some of the projects, they were all still clean. But after R. Kelly started to cuss a little bit and incorporate a real conversation, now everybody was starting to cuss. Now you start getting E's next to projects and tracks that were considered to be R&B, when E was generally about like hip hop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, his influence was there. So that's where I'm at. That was a simple question you asked me, but that's what I noticed about the 2000s. The more I'm digging into it, there was a sound that was dominated by someone, and I think the offset to that was the neo soul movement. That was the juxtaposition. You had this more earth toned energy, more wholesome if you want to fight, and then you had the more not down to earth, but a little more radical in thought, more real if you want to say it, like how NWA called it reality rap. This was kind of like reality music, and people were kind of biting it. It became more wordy, and it's funny that I look at some of the people that I talk about. I'm like, oh, who are writing now? That's how old they were when they came into their own regarding R&B. Sorry, nerded out for a second.
It's okay. No. It's interesting that you say that, because you said he had the influence of that person we don't talk about in that.
Yeah, the greatest R&B crooner of all time and writer of all time that we're not allowed to talk about.
That's your opinion, okay? Right. And then, on that project, there was an explicit labeling.
You see.
For that one. But then the one after, and then the one after that, not for music, but for Dave Hollister. Okay. The two after that, no.
None. Clean.
Yeah. And I'm curious about like what ratings were or sales were like during that time. And then
maybe he found himself. Maybe he was like, this is not who I am. You know, because when they're dealing with companies.
Because you could tell he had just, and also he had just like gotten over a relationship, or there was something like that.
There you go.
I remember from the second one, because there's a lot of songs about like, I'm changed, I'm a changed man. There are lots of reference to that. Yeah. And so then it cleaned up a little bit, but maybe he done.
It is what it is.
Because the rest of them have E's. But
the rest of them got E's.
After that, yeah. That's what it looks like.
And that's the kind of stuff that we talk about. I know it sounds like it's an older way to think about music.
Oh, no, just kidding. Nope. He kind of flips back and forth.
Okay.
Because there seems like there's some gospel reference. There's a one project, and it's called The Book of David, Volume 1. So that, nothing explicit there.
Right.
Yeah.
Just artists grow. And they have a journey and evolve and all of that stuff. And you can see it in the music.
And pivot. And I'd have to agree with you in regards to music as well. Soul Child in particular, because with that first project, there was a lot. I thought it was super neo soul, but I didn't see that as a negative thing. I thought that was
they didn't like to be like
boxed in with that,
because they were the sound of the time, no matter how you slice it. Erykah Badu, him. There's a bunch of them. Like even if you want to back it up to Jeanne was really in that same vein.
They didn't even have any hair or anything. Right, and that was like unheard of, right?
Yeah, they were in that same vibe, that same move, and I liked that R&B. That was good for me. I appreciated it. It seemed more wholesome. But I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Yes and yes. Yes. So that's what you've been listening to?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I have been in a Latin kind of mixed bag.
Okay.
Lots of Cardi. Cardi came out with a new project. I was going to say album, but
it is an album. We should be allowed to say that. It's considered album.
You slaughter me every time that
when you say album?
Yes.
No, I think you say record. When you say the record.
I don't say record.
You don't say record?
No.
All right. Okay.
Album. So yeah, so she's got a new project out, and so there's some things I like and some that I didn't, and
Right.
that's fine. And then, Bad Bunny's going to the Super Bowl, and so that had me like, oh, let me.
Bad Bunny.
Yes.
Bad Bunny.
Yes. So listening to those two along with like this other like mixed bag of artists that I appreciate. So like J1 and L Alpha and
You put me on. Who? Right.
right. It's just a bunch of artists
Your
that
Latin bag.
yes, Carol G, took it back to Don Omar. He's saved now, saved, sanctified, and
Don
whatnot.
Omar,
But
he was a gangster.
he got all the classics. So anyway, just been listening to a lot of that. Has actually been helping me with my Spanish as well.
Yeah.
Driving your kids crazy. Just gonna put that out there. They've been like, "Why, Mom? Why?"
Yeah, I'm definitely all about you like landing the plane with the sessions. I'm just like, it's been 3 years. You got what you got. Just speak it until you figure it out. Like let it go. Let her hand go. Swim.
So that's not. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking
I'm
about
just,
the music.
I know, but
okay.
I'm just saying, like, now that you got the foundation of it, just swim. You know what I mean? What would
I'll just, I'm the traveler, so
swim, bro?
I'm just saying, like, let me go do an immersion for like 6
Oh,
weeks. And
so I say spend less money, and she says go do something to spend more. All right, I get it.
it's
Girl math.
all learning
Girl math,
and
right?
growth. And yes, girl
Yeah,
math.
Girl math, which makes no sense.
Not true.
Girl math makes no sense. It makes sense. That's why it's called girl math.
I have thoughts about men and the way they conceptualize money and things like that too.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that today.
Not spending equals no money out.
But then we get new equipment at the house, or
Twice a year.
you've had something twice a year.
You said men.
Twice a year, friend.
You said men, so you categorize all of us. But I promise you, the Amazon
you
boxes.
categorized women with girl math.
Well, it's called. I didn't name it. I didn't name it girl math.
And what I'm in defense of women and girls, what I'm saying is men have their own ideas of how they spend too, and we just have to like
That was real fly.
sit with it.
What you just did, or how we spend. I'm all about not spending right now. That was where I'm going at. You said, but you have ways of how you spend. No, we weren't talking about how men and women spend. I was talking about, hey, stop spending. Look at your eyes.
I will do my 6
eyes.
week immersion class. I'll wait till next year. It's fine. I won't spend it right away, but I will spend it.
Right, girl math. What else you got?
That's what I'm listening to.
Okay.
Oh, are you reading anything?
No.
Okay. I am.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to lie because I want to play the part now. Because even when I'm reading, the book club is officially yours. That's
Why?
your segment.
Why?
For space and time. Like, we can't be, nobody, you do realize that listeners don't do 2 hours like that unless they're in traffic.
Wait, so
The book club is yours. So even if I am reading something,
we don't have to talk about books every week.
I think the book club should be talked about. If you're reading something
Right,
new.
but not if I'm the only one that's going to read something.
Do you do, I have a segment too. You don't do that.
That's fine.
So do your segment.
Okay, so I read
book
this
club.
book. Okay, cool. So I read this, I guess you would call it a thriller. I don't really know.
Thriller, killer, salmonella.
It was just okay.
All right.
It was just okay. So the story, it's a new a newly published book called Doll Parts by Penny Zhang, who's a new author.
Okay.
So I gave her a shot. I did finish the book, but it was a struggle. I was on a plane, and I was like, I will get through this because I am not tired now. But anyway, so it's about like dark academia. So 2 girls kind of from like backgrounds where there's no silver spoon, there's nothing like that, right?
Okay.
And so they have gotten into college. They're excited to be going to college, and they're given a scholarship, and their scholarship is obviously based off the need, but it's also based off of this idea that you would become part of these clubs. So one of them is studying like writing or something like that, and I think the other one is studying like journalism.
Okay.
And so they lean towards like authors and things like that. So this club is centered around Sylvia Plath. Do you know who Sylvia Plath?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so she is a poet, but she's well known because of her artistry, but also because she commits suicide. Yes. So that's the dark part of it.
Yeah.
So there's these people who are professors who are leading this particular club for these scholarship recipients. So it feels very like, what's the word I'm looking for? Intentional. Who they're like picking to be a part of these clubs. Well, so they lay the foundation in the book of this thing, like the premise.
Right.
And then something happens with these particular girls and a professor, and then it jumps 20 years later.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So there's this dual timeline that's happening, one from present, one from the past. So that part is interesting. But sometimes it's hard to follow because they don't have different narrators for the, and they're not naming it. So it's kind of hard to keep up with.
This is an audiobook as well.
Yeah, it's an audiobook.
Sounds
Sorry
like
about that.
Sounds like it'd be a better read, like without the audio. Right.
Maybe. Because some of it felt like obsessive and kind of like when everything was tied up in a bow and the mystery was solved and all of that, it just felt a little, like, I don't totally believe it. Which was kind of frustrating because you don't realize that till like 70% into the book.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why I said it wasn't great, wasn't horrible. I did finish it. Probably won't check out anything else with this author.
Oh, she got her shot.
She had her shot.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Everything ain't for everybody.
But she did get some good reviews, so doll parts.
Look, man.
Penny Zhang.
Yeah. Writing, music, movies, it's subjective.
Yeah.
You like what you like. Some people like certain things. They don't like the other.
Yeah. I didn't love it.
You didn't love it.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, you gave her name. You gave the book. You gave a synopsis. I mean, what else can you do? Not every book is going to be the one that hit home.
No.
You know what's worse, though? You know what I noticed regarding books? The book that you read after a killer, after a monster, is always like the, what do you call it? It's like the, I don't know, like the rebound relationship. And you're hoping for the best. You know what I mean? You want it to be something. Then if it's not, then it's like, oh, I hate this book. And then you come back years later like, I don't hate the book. It was just that you came after a really good book.
Yep. A few weeks ago,
Rebound
I
book.
read.
So sorry, Rebound book.
Exactly, and that's probably what this.
Rebound
that's probably
book.
what this is. Yeah,
It's a Rebound book.
I read River is Waiting, Wally Lamb.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the last ones. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so good.
Yeah, I remember.
And so now I'm like
Your Rebound book.
having a hard time like with choppy writing and incomplete like character development and like I can't. I'm just having a hard time. I'm just having a hard time.
I cannot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I finished this one. Yay.
You got it done. All right.
Knock it off.
Knock it off. Okay. The knock it off segment.
Let's talk about it.
The knock it off segment. This is where my wife, here's the spiel. My wife calls me a crotchety old man. All right. This is the get off my lawn segment of the podcast. If I offend somebody, it's your business. I don't know. My father used to say, being offended is a choice. But nonetheless, when people speak, I learn that people speak from where they are, their experiences, right? Their maturity and their depth of understanding, right? It is what it is. So this one is fairly simple, but I'm not going to come from the angle that you think I'm coming from.
Got it.
All right. Remember Sam Jackson's Snakes on a Plane? Remember that movie? I don't think it did well.
Is that the name of the movie?
Well, he did 2 snake movies.
Oh.
It was Black Snake Moan.
Yes.
And then there was Snakes on a Plane, where he says, I'm so sick and tired of these on this plane. Well, I didn't see it, and I probably will never see it.
Okay.
But let's talk about Babies on a Plane.
Oh.
Babies on the plane.
We were on a plane.
Babies on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're here and you think that I'm here to rip the parents who bring said children on here, no. I'm here to rip you people who don't understand what it's like to have to transport a child, and that's the only way and the most efficient way to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So knock it off, right? So if you're sitting next to, behind, in front of, in the same radius and vicinity where you can hear this baby scream and holler, all right, this is for you. Is it pleasant? No. It's going to drive you nuts, right? But guess what? You were once a child. And at some point, maybe you'll be a parent that has to transport said child across the earth via airplane. It's not easy to do, man, right? We've been there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to do. So you have to exercise some grace. I know you're saying, knock it off, Steve. You knock it off, Steve. No, you knock it off, right? At this point, we're talking 2025. Am I lying?
This is a couple
So
weeks
if you're
ago,
flying without earpods, or headphones, that's your problem, right? That's your problem. This is a you problem, because it's not just kids who drive people crazy on airplanes. It's other people, because there's people on there passing gas, aka farting.
Oh,
You know what I mean? There's people on there that won't stop talking. There's people who bring some funky, nasty smelling food and eat as soon as the airplane takes off. And there's some people who snore, right? There's some people, I'm serious. There's a plethora of things happening. You know what I mean? So knock it off. These children on this plane, I'm not saying this kid didn't drive me nuts the last time we flew. And I seen it happening. And the energy that I felt as this child is getting ready to get after it on this plane, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a problem. You see dad coming to the back to pick the baby up, and 5 minutes later, he drops the baby back off. And then you see the flight attendants now starting to hold the baby because they want to engage.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start seeing people put their headphones on and start to huff and puff. And I felt the same way for a second, because we were in the middle of a conversation. Remember? We were having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I felt it start to kind of get under my skin a little bit, then I said, knock it off. And then I said, you know what, Steve? You're a parent. You know what it's like to be in the middle of Walmart or a grocery store or any type of place, and you're with your child and they have one of them meltdowns. And you look down like Bernie Mac and you're ready to just give them an elbow. Elbow! Boom! Right? Get your punk. Right? I've been there. Right? So I granted some grace. And then I realized, you know what? I have headphones. I can make all of this go away. Right? And I looked around the airplane. There's 100 and some odd, seats and people. And I'm like, for the most part, we're looking at 99% worth of headphones, right? With people who aren't asleep.
Right.
Put your headphones on. Let these people get through what they got to get through. Now, if you're sitting directly next to a child who's hitting you and kicking you, I got no answer for you.
That's different.
I got no answer for you.
Mm-hmm.
I strongly suggest that if you're a parent who has one of them kids who's like in kicking and punching, you got to offer something. Can I buy you a drink?
Mm-hmm.
Can I buy you a meal? I'm so sorry. This kid ain't going to stop.
Take
right?
the kid's shoes off.
Take the kid's shoes off. Something. I'm so sorry. Right? But for you people who are just being nasty and not understanding and not granting grace to a family who was, they recognize, they ain't crazy. They know. Knock it off. They know these kids are going to drive people crazy because they're being driven crazy until this baby falls asleep.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're dealing with. So for you people out there who can't stand children on planes, knock it off. We're not talking about a movie theater where you can make a choice. And it's a form of entertainment that mandates quiet, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a respect factor, and people are listening. And a guy like me who loves movies, at any given time, if one word is missed, it could throw me off. Like, now I don't know what's about to happen because that was important, right?
Right.
And we're not talking about, I don't know, like when people driving with their dogs and stuff like that, I don't know, those type of things. I'm not talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about specifically kids on a plane that might be crying.
That
You know
are
what I mean?
crying.
That are crying or
Mhm.
acting up.
Mm-hmm.
Knock it off, y'all. Knock it off. There it is. There's my knock it off. You got anything to add regarding kids on a plane? With the same Jackson, I'm so sick of these mother snakes on this. Yeah.
I have to say that our kids were pretty good about traveling
Right.
on
Right.
like airplanes. I was worried that first time
Yeah.
with our daughter because it was a long flight.
It was a long. You said she did well.
She did so well. I mean,
Yeah.
the tussin helped too.
The tussin. Gave her some tussin.
I gave her a little tussin.
A little tussin. Just a
Gave
little
her
bit.
Benadryl on the way home. Mm-hmm.
She was done.
On the way back. Yeah. But
Probably.
but that was like after the fact. But I also have gotten crafty about like when we travel, and even
Right.
now with
Right.
them. Like, I know you don't love a red eye, but I'm
Mm-mm.
like, if we're going across country, I want them
It's the
in their
best way.
PJs. I want them, I mean, they're
Yeah.
not little anymore.
You're a veteran though at this point. You know how to do it. Booking the right flights, putting them in the right clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Yep.
Making sure everybody's charged up, entertainment, they have their snacks, like
Right.
everybody's good. We
Making
want
sure
everyone
the tech
to be
is ready to
comfortable.
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bellies are full.
Mm-hmm.
All hearts and minds clear.
All clear. But that was from when they were little, and that
Yeah.
little one, I was like, I probably will prep and he won't do well, and he did well.
And he did well.
He did.
You know what's funny is it goes to show you how just conditioning and training goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching on social media the other day. There was this 6 or 7 year old kid who had never had a haircut before. He had braids his entire life. So now, his father was like, we're not doing this. Like, he needs a haircut. You know what I mean? And mom was going back and forth. And it was good content.
Mhm.
Mom playing her part, dad playing his
Right.
part. But
We
the
want to
boy,
keep our babies.
right. And that's the truth. And it's
Mhm.
real. It's cute. It's humorous. But dad was like, enough already. Like, he needs a haircut. He needs to stay clean. You know what I mean? He sweats a lot and da-da-da-da. And he's got to learn how to do this at some point. But the kid was 7, 8 years old and was really, he was struggling with this barber. And I kind of related to the barber. I used to cut hair. So I'm just like, yo, time literally is money.
Mm.
Time is literally money. And this boy was not cooperating.
Right.
And I was like, he ain't been conditioned. And I thought back to our baby boy. He been in that chair since...
He was 2.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been conditioned and trained. He don't like sitting there sometimes, but he'll knock it out. And we rewarded him. So we incentivized him sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And as he got older, he got better. And now it is what it is.
Right. It's a nuisance. It's not discomfort. Right. It's not anything like that. It's just, can we be done with this?
Right. So I can go do something else.
Mm-hmm. Because he don't care about his hair.
Right. And, and for me, it's daddy and son time. Too. Mm-hmm. So I get to listen to him ask me 1,000 questions about Naruto and talk about his, his games and all that. And I love it. I dig it. It's really, really cool. Mm-hmm. And he be looking handsome after, boy.
Ooh, sharp.
Sharp.
That boy be sharp.
Sharp. SHAHP. Sharp. He be sharp.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, but boy, we save a lot of money that way too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it is for kids now?
What?
Like $35.
That's for a basic
That's
haircut?
for a basic cut. Now, nobody has $35, so you got a tip. That's $50.
Mm.
You do that twice a month. It's $100. It's $1,200 a month, $1,200 a year for haircuts.
Mm-hmm.
We was getting haircuts for $5 back in the
sure
day.
You don't want to start barbering again?
The issue with starting a barbershop is building clientele and being on my feet at 45.
Yeah,
I don't want to be on my feet for 8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the way my mindset is,
I was going to say.
You know where I'm going with this.
Yes.
I get a barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you know what I think would work?
What?
A niche barbershop. Kids only.
Mm.
Kids only. And that way you build out a full playscape and you know what I mean?
Don't say too much.
Yeah. My might
Don't say
steal
too
my
much.
idea. Hey, I gotta call my man Chief. I gotta call my guy Chief in the big city of dreams in Bennettsville. I might have to call him up and talk this out.
Talk to him.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of shop he has?
Nah, but if
okay.
anybody can pull it off, he could pull it off.
He could.
And this is LA.
And you could just talk through it with him.
Things that make you go, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So there it is.
All right.
Yeah. So those of you who think that we just talk about nothing, I mean, but I have heard people enjoy those segments. Like they're looking.
It's not nothing.
Right. It's giving a piece of us.
It's humanity.
Yeah. Humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Edutainment.
Yeah.
Edutainment. All right. So I guess there is a reason for us being here. Let's have a little fun.
Yeah.
Right. And this one was a layup for me. You know what I mean? For us, rather. It was a layup. Ayesha Curry gave us definitely like a layup here.
Yeah.
This
definitely.
is right up our alley. This is right up our alley. By the time this hits your ears, it'll be old, but that's the news cycle. We do the best we can, right? That's the news cycle. Things come and go just like that. Government shutdown.
Yep.
Cardi B, Nicki Minaj beef. This is happening. Damon Dash talking crazy about Cameron. All this stuff flies by, right? But, as married couples, once again, we do the podcast just so we can give you guys a piece of ourselves and also respond to things that are happening in the world. So you guys can kind of feel how we feel. And the whole idea for anything that I believe, if you're talking into a microphone and putting it out for consumption, it shouldn't be just to get shock. It really should be to help people and to connect with people. Because what we're learning via TikTok and social media and Instagram and Facebook is that there are tons of people out there that can relate to us and are, even if they're not married, interested in our perspective. So this is our perspective.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Ayesha Curry.
All right. So
lay down the law, ma'am.
Okay. So apparently it was about a month ago.
2. It was even longer than that.
Okay, almost 2 months ago, Ayesha Curry. She just talks.
Well, who is she? Who's Ayesha Curry?
Sorry. Let me backtrack a little bit. So Ayesha Curry is Stephen Curry's wife. So Stephen Curry is a major basketball player, NBA player, specifically. Where does he play?
Golden State.
Just kidding. Golden State. Plays for the Sacramento Kings.
Just kidding. Check out this.
Okay. So anyway, so in this interview, she starts to just talk about how she really never envisioned her life going the way that it went. Never really thought she would get married. Didn't really dream about like wedding dresses and what that big day would look like. She had always had this idea that she was going to be a goal getter. And that's not how her life has turned out. And so she got a lot of backlash because she named some of these things. Or this
Did you say
idea.
Backlash? They are social media.
They're like slaughtering.
Her butt.
They are slaughtering her right now.
They are coming for her head.
I was trying to keep it like palatable, but yeah. So yeah, they're going at her because she's saying things that feel like blasphemy for a lot of people.
Right.
The problem is like when you really delve into what she's saying, it doesn't feel like she's saying anything that is outside of the norm of any person who's aspired to be anything. And so today we're going to explore a little bit about what she's talking about. So we'll do kind of a deep dive. Yeah, a deep dive into it.
I think I think that these things teach me something.
Okay.
You and I are always talking about these things, in the confines of our car rides or just being home or whatever it is. I think it really shines a light on what social media is. And I still think that I'm learning more about social media, as we go. Social media is exactly what it is, social. It's media that's social, so people can share things and talk about things on a platform, right? Of course, there's some rules and blah, blah, blah. But sometimes you can find out what really gets under people's skin. And something like this getting under some people's skin, for us, for you and I, is a struggle because we don't hear anything worth, throwing our hands up, wooga, 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 right? But for some people, they see that. And it's interesting. Forget about interesting. It's fascinating to me to see how people view others, right? Especially celebrity. It's always been a thing, but with social media, it shines brighter and it becomes a bit more nuanced, in how people respond. And, you already talked about Steph Curry being one of the greatest NBA players of all time. He changed the way, we look at the game. He expanded. He's not 6'9", he's 6'3". He can shoot the ball. He's probably the greatest shooter of all time. If you ask me, you throw Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, and some other guys in there, and there's your list, Larry Joe Bird, and there's, he's probably going to top that list of greatest shooters of all time. And even more so, he is clean as a whistle. Outside of like LeBron, you ain't heard a peep out of that man. He goes about his business. He's been married. You ain't never heard about him cheating. He's had his kids with him. As Jamel Hill says, it gives the impression that they are a happy couple. Of course, behind closed doors, they deal with things. But I just don't see how in this world with social media and people telling everyone's business, that if there was an issue, we would have known. Right.
It sounds like she's targeted in some ways, though.
It feels like people want to crack. They want to see a crack.
They're looking for,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
They're looking for a crack.
Exactly.
They're looking for a crack.
That's what it feels like. Just even we watched some of the Jamel Hill
response.
take on this
Jamel's incredible,
topic.
by the way.
She's great.
Incredible.
I was watching thinking like she's really having this conversation by herself.
Right.
Which is amazing. And she's sharp and she's just like anticipating what people may think and somehow just laying it out fluently. It's beautiful.
Right.
Like, it's just awesome. Anyway.
Right. Oh, sidebar. Read that book too. Jamel Hill's book is really, really good. I read that in the summertime or maybe last September. Really, really good book. Sorry. Go ahead.
What's the name of the book?
I think it's just Jamel. Isn't it just Uphill? Is it Uphill?
I have no idea. That's
remember.
why I'm asking.
Get Jamel Hill's book.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
I will grab that. Thank you so much.
We have it. We own it. We got it.
Oh, we own it?
Yes, ma'am. You know I like books.
Oh, we own the book?
Yeah. You should read it.
Okay, I'm going to look for it.
We're nerds,
shelf.
Guys. Sorry. We're nerds.
Wait. I never got the plug. Tell me about it. Okay.
Hawaii. I read it when we were in Hawaii.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think it's called Uphill. I could be wrong.
We'll get that to you,
Sorry.
folks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what were we talking about? Backlash?
Backlash.
No, what else? It feels like Ayesha
people looking for a crack in their relationship.
Yeah, a crack in the relationship, but also they're often looking for her to be like create this sinister kind of idea around her.
Mm-hmm.
So even when she was pregnant, like way, way, way back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were together. I think she was pregnant with the second baby at this point. Okay. She's got 4 now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's got 4. And the 2 are older. Like they're back to back. So like 13 and whatever.
Oh, wow.
So just for like reference
in
time.
my business.
Right. Like reference of time.
Yeah.
But I remember specifically because she was very pregnant. They were in the finals. She was cheering for him, and then she was sitting in the stands, right? And they did this whole thing where they tried to interpret her thoughts, and like they went into this whole thing, and I was like, what is it about this woman that people do not like?
What do you mean? What is it that people don't like? I know we're talking for the sake of talking. This is a podcast. Let's draw it all the way out. Let's play the game.
Okay, let's do it.
As trifling as it is, as ignorant and as low vibrational as it is, these are 2 fair-skinned.
Okay. I was going to go there, but go ahead.
Fair-skinned, good-looking, because people think because you're light-skinned that you look good. You're always good-looking. That ain't always the case. You know what I mean? But these are 2 well-groomed, good-looking people. He's operating at a very high level. You know what I mean? Winning championships, never really doing anything. Dude threw his mouthpiece one time.
He can't have feelings. Wait a second.
Mouthpiece. But it feels,
no
dare I say
it,
dare I say it, that on social media, I've been saying it for a while, and this is why I was struggling with this podcast. People only watch when there's something collapsing. A train wreck is so much more fun to watch than the glory of some people living it up, doing well, high, like vibrating high, doing the right things, saying the right things, being in the right places, looking good, smelling good, being successful. That doesn't have the same energy. It doesn't garner the same type of energy that you would get from somebody who's, oh, he's cheating. Yep. Oh, she's a liar. Oh, this happened. Oh, she ain't this. Look at that. I'm like, people prefer train wrecks over beautiful landscapes. It's disgusting, but it's the world that we live in.
It's pretty miserable.
It's a miserable existence to have. You know what I mean? And once again,
preying on downfall.
Preying on people's downfall.
Right.
And I'll say it again. Unfortunately, it's something that's the truth, but because we live in this cynical, nasty world, you have to now find like shining lights. And then when people find these shining lights, they find it and let's dim it.
Yes.
Let's kill it right where it is. Let's kill it.
So even thinking about, because a lot of times, right, there's 2 main examples, I think, in NBA world. I'm probably wrong right now, but
I'll correct you.
For the sake of the sake of the conversation that we're having right now, right? There's oftentimes like this idea of like an idyllic family. And so it would be LeBron James's family. LeBron James. It would be his first, right? He hasn't had any stuff. They've been together, high school sweethearts, blah, blah, like all of those things, right? And then there's the Currys. But for whatever reason, I'm not saying Savannah does not get beat down by, social media. But it feels like she's more like palatable to the world than Ayesha is. And you think that it has something to do with like her color.
Oh, there's colorism all in there.
Let's talk about it, please.
We are black folks.
Uh-huh.
All right. And if you are not a black folk listening, please don't get it twisted. We ain't, we've got our colorism issues as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we all know that a fair skinned person, if you draw the lines all the way back to that word, slavery,
Ooh.
Generally speaking, your mother or father, someone was raped, and there's Caucasian blood in you somehow in that lineage. And of course, you got the Creole folks and all that stuff that works its way all the way back years. But within our culture and within our specific race, there's an issue with that. You know what I mean? It seems like it was the thing to be in the 80s, light skin. And then as we got older, now it's frowned upon. We teeter inside of this little stupid spectrum of ignorance that we're working off of, you know what I mean? And she happens once again, as you said and alluded to, they happen, both of them, but that is a very good looking woman. I'm sitting here next to my wife, you know what I mean? I'm not lusting, but that's a very good looking woman. She's done no harm. She doesn't have her own platform, I think. I don't think she has a platform where she said anything crazy.
She had a cooking show for a little bit at one point. I don't know, but that's about it.
Right. And
that
then
I know
you got
of.
Steph Curry, you know what I mean, who's a fair-skinned brother as
Wholesome
well.
and
6'3", wholesome, you know what I mean, does what he needs to do. You ain't never seen him on news for doing blah, 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 or in social media for doing blah, blah, blah. Right. Like I said, the dude threw his mouthpiece, and that was the biggest issue that he's ever had. Whoa, he blew it. But there's something in there. There's other stuff outside. I'm like, okay, this right here is the epitome of that. Now, for those of you who are listening, I did do a little research. Apparently, there are other clips historically of her saying certain things or her giving her opinion on whatever it is. Once again, if you don't know how social media works, you film it, you shoot it, you record it, then you aggregate it, and it dumps down and you get it. And the whole idea is to get people to watch it. So you're only going to clip it a certain way. You don't get the full context of it. But either way, the context that she gives when she talks, people have been saying almost like she's Jada trying to take Will down. Or Ayesha has always. The stuff that we've been seeing regarding her, obviously, if you haven't listened, you know what I mean, I'm an apologist. And the word that I hate using is apology. What does she have to apologize for? But before we go down this road, we need to talk about what she said. Okay. There was a question asked. I'm not quoting it because it's not perfect, but from the podcast that she was on a month and a half or 2 months ago, a reputable place, Call Me Daddy, I believe is what it's called. She's speaking, and there was a question. It wasn't like she just said, this thing on, let me get to it. Let me ruin my family. Let me destroy my husband. Let me lower the value of everything that we put together. No. She was asked a question about, did she want to have, I believe it was, did she see herself having a big family? Or she was like, no. Like, no, I see myself as a goal-oriented. I didn't see myself really being married. I didn't see myself having kids. You know what I mean? Only to find out, as Jamel Hill gave us more information, that she was actually trying to come to LA to become an actress. You know what I mean? And all this told me, my love, you know what I mean? So all this told me was that, she had goals. She had dreams. She had ambitions, like most other human beings prior to being married. So she answered the question, and that opened up a whole world of low vibrating, Jamel Hill calls them line readers, you know what I mean? Or as I call them, remedial.
She said something fingers.
Yeah, finger readers.
Finger readers. You know
finger
readers. Got it.
And I'm just like, I say remedial minded.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because once again, social media, there's no filter. So remember when in high school, when you had I ain't gonna call them slow, but you had the remedial classes, you had the academic, you had honors, and then like AP. Well, those remedial kids.
They called them basic classes.
Well, you put something out to the world on social media, guess who can respond? You can, you get the people
anybody.
Anybody. Anybody.
It's a wide range.
It's a wide range of people.
And a lot of people not reading.
And a lot of people ain't reading
On
captions.
all levels.
And on all levels.
Yes.
So you're responding to something that you don't have context on, or you ain't reading the caption, or you didn't even, it feels like people didn't even hear the question.
No.
She's responding to something in the past, a mindset that she had prior to being married.
Yes.
Not while being married. She's got 4 children. She obviously doesn't hate having kids.
No.
And something tells me with her, with the amount of money that he's amassed, I bet you she's okay with that. So all of these things let me know that people are dealing with their own stuff and responding with their ignorance. If I had that kind of money, and I'm like, your money ain't everything. You know what I mean? Well, if I had a man that was being good, well, yeah, a good guy is great, but that ain't everything. There's another human in that relationship who was asked by an interviewer about how she was at a certain time. She responded to it, and y'all killed her for that. That's trash.
It feels like, the lesson, another lesson that she can potentially learn from this is like, don't be candid. Don't be vulnerable. Don't be like, that's what it felt like, because her response to me was a level of truth. It's like when you get mothers in a space, right? And then you got the mothers who are just like, I love all parts of motherhood. Motherhood is hard, but you get past it, and they just kind of move past it. I'm not that kind of mother. I'm the mother that's just like, I love my children. Motherhood is hard. But I wouldn't pass it up. I wouldn't like change that.
They will cook you for that now.
Apparently. But, so so when I was listening just to the clip, I hadn't watched the whole thing yet. And I actually didn't ever watch the whole interview, but I watched enough. I watched enough of it to be like, I
heard a question.
Yes.
And I heard a response.
And she answered the question, and she answered it candidly. Okay, so I guess that touches on like, what was she asked, and what did she say?
Before I had heard the clip or seen the clip, I could have swore that she had cussed him up and down, called him everything outside of his name, Wardell, Stephen Curry. I thought that she said you would have thought she said, I hate having this money. I hate these kids.
No.
I hate the NBA and everything that comes with it. You know what I mean?
I mean, the way that people were responding.
I was like, then I listened to it. I was like, whoa, this is a whole lot of nothing.
Yes. So one of the things that she did mention was that that she is often very vocal, because the interviewer did ask her this too. Like, have you ever shared with Stefan, like, how you feel? Have you? And she's like, yes, because I can't not tell people how. I can't not tell him. So obviously there's communication going on. I'm assuming decent communication, because they've been married for such a long time, right? So anyway, one of the things that he said that I noted was that he said it's not true, and he can't relate, mainly because the stuff that she was feeling, the mom guilt, and I'm maybe pushing things along, but like the idea of goals and purpose. He wasn't negating any of that. He was just saying the thoughts that you have in your head are not the reality. If you basically, I thought they're not true. Yeah, they're not true. And so I have kind of mixed thoughts about that. Okay. So the first thing is, I think that because she said that, he gives her so much grace. Her words. He gives me so much grace. He seems supportive from what she had mentioned. But I also am like, how do you get to tell somebody else how they feel? So if she's sharing her thoughts, like, oh, that's not true. You don't get to say that.
You don't get to say that.
I'm not.
I get where you're going, and this is where you get into really murky waters, because her articulation of a conversation or multiple conversations in their home can be misconstrued under that umbrella of it's not true. He may not have said it's not true. He may have said some of the things that you're feeling aren't true.
Right.
He may have said he may have said you have cooking shows and you have content out there and you're doing things. You've got your own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true. You know what I mean?
But not.
But we don't
Right.
know.
We don't
play
have
those
any
games.
idea. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, like, I gathered that he was a supportive husband.
Right.
I'm totally like making assumptions here,
Yeah.
but from what she was sharing, and then even like we have to base our, or we have to take what we can from it and base some of it off of our own experiences. And so I feel like
That's
and
what
I
I'm
have
here
had,
for.
yeah, like I feel like you and I have had conversations like this before.
Silky segue. That was
Perfect.
good.
Okay.
You're good. I can't even talk about that. I don't even know if that's a copyright infringement. I mean, I don't even know. I just used it one time. It's a really good movie.
Okay.
What do you want me to do? I just got to stop it.
Stop
YouTube,
it.
I don't know what to do, YouTube. Just send us a book. That would be a good book.
Invoice us.
No.
Don't invoice us.
Make a YouTube book of what you can and can't do.
There we go.
Actually.
Okay. So
No, yeah, we've lived this life before. If you're listening for the first time, we've been married 19 years, almost 20. All right. And we've been through some things, but we also dated prior to marriage for a long time. We've been dating since we were 13, 14 years old. All right. And we're friends, and we've had good times and bad times and hurtful times and great times and moments where we've learned from each other and hated each other and loved each other. All the things. Joe, all the things. All right. Greatest R&B album. Okay. So we lived it on a very lower scale. But at the end of the day, if you're dating or you're committed to someone, you have a life prior to meeting this person. And generally speaking, you have goals and dreams and ambitions, however big or however small they are. And then you collapse into this one entity by way of love, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes you move forward in relationships and you get married, or it goes for a long, you end up being together for a while.
Mhm.
Well, when you connect and you come together, those dreams, goals, and ambitions don't necessarily just die, because
Right.
they're in you. They're a part of you. That's what I heard from her. So for her to articulate the fact that, hey, I had goals, ambitions, and dreams before, this was my mindset before, I think that she should be applauded for that. But on our note, let's talk about how it went. I, just like Jamel Hill spoke about in her response, like Steph Curry, and I'm not comparing myself. I mean that. I am not comparing myself to Steph Curry. I shot a lot of threes. Yes, I did. I shot a lot of threes, right, in my game. But I did not play at that level. I played lower level FIBA or overseas basketball, as they say, for really no money. But it was a goal, it was a dream, and it was my light. It was my
catapulted you into whatever you were going to do next.
That was what my life was about.
Right.
Specifically, that's what I was that was the driving force. That was the cornerstone of how I lived my life. So I get that part. But also, when I met this beautiful woman, she was always reading books. And I remember you telling me early that you were going to be an educator and a teacher. Am I not right?
That's correct.
So there's two people with their goals, dreams, and ambitions. Right?
Fair. Mm-hmm.
Well, I pursued that dream.
Mm-hmm.
And you pursued that dream.
Mm-hmm.
We both can say we were professionals.
Mm-hmm.
17 years educator,
Mm-hmm.
10 years pro. Signed 3 contracts, chased it for 7 years.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That ain't much different. But I want to make sure I qualified that we ain't trying to put ourselves there.
So in terms of like context, right?
So we can relate to this.
The start and not end point, but where they are now is in a lot of ways similar. Subtract a couple zeros.
Take away a zero.
Take away like, I don't know, 10 zeros. Whatever.
15,
I'm gonna stay out.
This is contract like number 6 for homeboy.
Right. So that's neither here nor there. But I think what it gets to is the idea that no money can ever really like stunt the yearning or the idea of wanting to live in purpose. And I don't want to get preachy about that, because
P-word.
That's really what this came down to. To me, that's what she was saying. Like, I am a mother, and she said it. I love motherhood. I don't always love motherhood. I love being their mother. I don't love it all the time, right? But she said, I love motherhood. I love being a mother. And even with that, she mentioned something around like this realization, like after the first baby of like, oh no, but I have like a lot of interesting things about me. And because I now have this baby that I have to be responsible for, no grudges or resentment in any of that, what she's saying, right? I'm feeling a little like I'm missing something. I'm not doing something. And so that's what it feels like. She had the realization that, wow, I am a mom and Steph is the dad and he's doing these really great things. And I'm here living this life that I love, but I still have this yearning for something else.
The text that I sent you said what on top of it? What about me?
Yes.
What about me?
What about me? And I think...
That's what I heard.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about our business, if you don't mind, for a little bit, because you're right. Like I was an educator for a really long time.
17 years.
17 years. You
Master's
always want to
degree.
name. Okay, so I got the degrees, I got certifications, I got all of like those things, and I realized kind of early on that I was never really happy in that space. So I spent a huge part raising our oldest child, and we're climbing uphill.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to like make ends meet. We're trying to do certain things, and I'm working to establish this new state, establish like all these different things.
But you're working directly in...
But I'm working in the field with which I thought I loved and wanted to be a part of, okay? And I have this partner who is wonderful, but I can't see his like beauty and all of that right now because I'm going up this uphill climb.
Mm-hmm.
And so then once all of that smoke kind of like clears, things start to level off. You're working in your business. I'm in education. I'm still feeling this level of like, I love my family and I want work-life balance, but I also don't feel happy. I'm not happy doing this. I don't want to just be her mother and his wife. And I should be doing something, or my time should be really like invested in the things that I love. And as much as I love people, as much as I love helping, I knew it wasn't in education. And so then I take the break, right? So you give me an opportunity to take this break. You give me an opportunity to like just sit with my thoughts and figure out what I want to do next.
The least I could do, and grateful to have done it.
And I am absolutely appreciative.
You don't
without
even gotta
fail.
respond.
I
I'm just
know,
saying.
but I have to say
I'm
that.
a
I do
dreamer.
want to.
I'm
I want to
a
say it for
dreamer.
emphasis because it
Okay.
was really important for me to take that time to figure out where I was going to be or
Right.
what we were going to do next. But in the meantime, I was able to take care of my family in ways that I had never taken care of my family before. Like this one-tracked idea that I can just be involved in school, be involved in dinner. I could be planning this. It was beautiful.
Oh, are you saying that you were enjoying being a tradie wife or a tradie wife for a second?
I was.
How dare you? They might come for you
was.
too.
Oh, they could come for me. That's fine.
Man, are you
That's
kidding
fine.
me? Do you know you can call me a caveman all you want to? I said it before, I'll say it again. That house, is a home. The food tastes better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Kids getting places on time. If they forget something, somebody can get it to them. You can respond to teachers in an appropriate manner. My wife ain't coming home stressed out, worried, angry, bitter, resentful. You know what I mean? I'm like, listen, man, if anybody out there can give their partner, not just a man to woman, a woman to, if anyone can give their partner a couple years off or retire them, man, go for it. You know what I mean? Listen.
So,
sorry.
Yes, all of that. So I want to say it was maybe I think we're in year 4 now. This is our fifth year. Okay, so this is my 5th year of not having a traditional like 9-to-5 job in education. This is probably the first year that now what Ayesha Curry is saying really resonates for me because I knew, and actually my brother-in-law was one of the ones that had pointed this out to me. He's like Liz, you read and you went to school and you did all of these different things. You don't think at some point you're going to want to challenge your brain in other ways? And I said, Right now, no. I'm riding the wave. I'm riding the wave, and it feels good, and I appreciate all of that, right? But I remember him saying this to me. He said it pretty recent. He had said it pretty recently. And then it was soon after that I was just like, not from what he said. It was just as time has been progressing that I'm now like, but what am I going to do?
Mm-hmm. What about me?
What about me? Because when my children leave, when they leave the home,
Well,
they
the boy
will
ain't
have
never
had,
going nowhere, but I get you.
I mean, at some point he will have to be responsible for himself
Mm-hmm.
and potentially a family, and same thing for our daughter, right? Then I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to move forward? What am I supposed to be doing? And so I have to start to figure those things out now, because the truth is I have in a lot of ways lived a dream,
Mm-hmm.
but that dream has really been like an offset from the 17 years that I've had in education, not necessarily of like, oh, I'm in my purpose to do whatever it is that I'm supposed to be careening through.
Right.
I don't know if I'm articulating that
You're
great.
articulating it perfect, but because we're off of them and recognizing that if you're listening, watching Ayesha Curry and what she said is just, the foundation by which we're having this conversation. We're not really talking about her anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What I hear is, from what I've heard, I've got to push back, and I'm not negating, discounting, or pushing back on what you say. But my response would be, if we've learned anything about our relationship and about life, that the things that we've already done and the work that we've put in, it's always really just to teach us and to add another tool on our tool belt for whatever's coming next.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I do it too sometimes. I'm in the middle of it right now. I'm fighting the thing. I keep telling people, don't stop this podcast. You better not stop it. Don't stop. And then I hear people in the back of my head, the moment you stop is the moment that something could have popped off. And I'm just like, I'm trying to go get this paper. I'm trying to go get this money. I'm trying to go get this thing. And I'm just like, I've done that already. And I think to recreate what I've already done would be blasphemy and be a waste of the time that the Almighty gave me. Right? So all the tools that you and I have amassed, you specifically, all of the equipment that you've amassed is preparing you for your next, right? I know I sound preachy, but I'm a coach. This is what I believe. This is how I live. And I think it would behoove you to just kind of go along, and whatever that means from day to day, just live your life. Continue to take care of your body, continue to read the books, continue to be a great mom, continue to do the pod, continue to take your notes and do your Spanish and learn your lessons, and, all of these different things, because the things that we've done and where we just come from, I think the Almighty is allowing us time to grieve. I think he is allowing us time to respite, because we just sold a company, right, as well. We just, buried a brother. All of these things are happening while our kids are also transitioning too from different things.
Mm-hmm.
We got a young boy who's now like spurting and turning into a different human, a young woman who is turning from a young lady into a woman in front of our face. And we're building something from the ground up. So I think that all of these things are things that we're putting into this jambalaya, this gumbo, if you will.
A paella.
Paella. That's how you say it. Paella. Did I say it right?
Mm-hmm.
I think all of these things are just things that we're doing. And I have to tell myself, I'm talking to myself as well, relax. It's going to happen. Stop trying to make 35,000 businesses. You know what I mean? Stop waking up in the morning and ordering t-shirts. Stop waking up in the morning and doing flyers. Like, relax. I got you. Work on the thing that you truly love and let me do my thing, says the Almighty, says the Creator, says God. So as you tell me that story, I'm pushing back because I hate when you minimize the work you've put in. I think sometimes it would help you if you kind of did a reset sometimes and review all the things you've done. Because sorry, y'all, it is my wife, and I want to blow smoke. You've been a parent educator. You've taught adult ed. You've taught, I believe you did, I think you might have been middle school or high school for a quick second in Cromwell. We're talking SPED credential. We're talking, like, you've been in almost every lane of education except being a professor at college. You've done all of those things, right? And then you were a mom. And then you rebuilt your body and your mind, because there was a time there where you were running all the miles. And let me just kind of cut back on my rice a little bit. Let me kind of, and then all right, well, now I've hit a wall with my body. What do I do now? And then you crack the code on that. Lost a bunch of weight, no Zempi, none of that stuff. You know what I mean? She was doing it way before that, y'all. You know what I mean? Lost all this weight, built muscle, and, had like another shoe. You got another glow up, like just like that after having another child, right? And then your husband starts a company and then you got a chance to rest and be a mom, and you locked in on that. Specifically right now with our daughter, you know what I mean? So all these things are happening, and I'm like, ooh, I see something here. And all we're doing with this podcast is telling people how to do it. You know what I mean? So in real time, y'all watching this, I think this might be our platform. Not just the pod, but I think there's more to come. And I think because we've both put our work in, everything that we've done is just basically our resume to go and help other people do what they've done. Because we've seen it all, from being a parent to owning a company, to being employees, to getting degrees, to moving states, to raising kids, to being leaders. You know what I mean? All these things are going to help other people be where they're supposed to be. But I think that maybe Ayesha could learn a thing or two about, hey, all these things you've amassed, it's just there for you to, so stop working so hard on trying to feel what it is. Just do the work, and I'll open the doors for you to do what you need to do as well. Because if I was her agent or her manager, I think this is a perfect jumping off point. Even though it's negative to social media, there's people that believe the same way we believe. I think it's time for us to hear from Ayesha Curry, because she represents something that we might not be able to speak to specifically, you know what I mean, or directly, but I bet you there's a ton of moms who've been NBA moms who have incredible stories to tell. Mm-hmm. So I might be giving away her game, but this would be a perfect time for her to do that and tell that story, because I bet you a lot of these NBA wives ain't just sitting there with the new bag, you know what I mean, the new hairstyles with kids in the back, in the Bentleys and the Rolls Royces and whatever. They've probably been building companies, and they've got information that can help other people because they've put their stuff to the side, you know what I mean, but while also amassing other things.
So I don't think that we're disagreeing, and I don't think your challenge was necessarily a challenge. When I'm talking about careening through whatever is next, it might be with you and I. It might be something that I'm doing on my own. But what I was going to get at was the idea that sometimes it was, so before 2023 or whenever it was, right? I'm just going to give that as a time reference. It was really hard for me to dream about what it was that I would do or what I wanted to do. And I was often asking myself, like, what is my purpose? And so it just feels like after the 5 years that I have been in the home, again, not in a traditional like workspace, that I am now asking myself that again, like, what is my purpose?
Yeah.
But I'm open to wherever it is that's going to go. And yes, I am. I'm going to let God lead that, because I don't want to try to figure that out on my own anymore. I see where that took me. And as much as I got all the credentials and all the other things that I've gotten, and all that experience is beautiful, but it wasn't enough. And it still didn't feel like enough for me.
For you.
Yes, for me.
You.
And so that's what I'm getting at, right? Like somebody else might look at that and be like, oh my goodness, you did all these things. Okay, that's great. But they're not the things, they don't make me happy.
But they are tools. And
they are tools.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not discrediting any of that. And so that's what I'm saying. And so as I'm thinking about what's next, that's why so much of what she says resonates for me, because I understand that, because no money in the world can change that yearning in your heart to be doing the thing that you love to do. And there's a lot of things that we do that I go, oh my goodness, I love this. I love running PE with you. I
be wilding.
We have a good time.
We have a good time.
I love watching the children grow. But I also understand that I don't want to be in a space teaching from a textbook. That's not the learning that I want to be doing. And I also have reflected on the education that I've done in the past, right? Like, I love teaching adults. I don't think it's supposed to be that way in a classroom. And so that's all I'm saying. Like, the pushback that you're mentioning, no, that's not what I'm getting at. I think it's just,
I think the pushback that I should have been more specific. The mindset that there's got to be this direct, immediate, specific purpose.
Oh, I never said that.
Yeah, I know you did. But the mindset for a lot of people was, what's my purpose? You know, I was big on that purpose thing.
Yes.
Purpose. I think it is for the moment. Just like my father told
It's
me.
ever changing,
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
ever
Yeah.
changing and ever
Mhm.
evolving. Nobody has one specific thing that they were put here to do. I'm here to play basketball. If that's what you're here to do, then that means that you're limiting God to about 10 years of your life.
Yeah.
That can't be right.
Mm-mm.
That's impossible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's you've just limited God's, bountiful grace on your life to 10, 12 years.
Right.
Really?
So I also think the other thing to consider, and I think this is probably part of the reason that Ayesha got so much backlash, is like so many of us, so many people just in general, like us regular, not peons, but us regular civilians, right, are dealing with that duality of like survival and actually living.
Right.
And because she is in a position where she can actually live fruitfully, she can try this and not do this, and her family's they're going to be just fine, right? And I think sometimes like people look at that and they're like, look at you being ungrateful.
Right.
When in fact, that's not what she's saying at all.
Yeah.
And I know that. I have a very good friend of mine who has been in a position where she's just like, you think because people have this like boatload of money that they don't need help or they don't need to feel like valued or supported or, again, going to bring that word up, like happy. And so I can have all of this money and still be really unhappy because I'm not able to do some of the things that make me just be me. Right. And I think that's a woman issue. I think men oftentimes, and like stop me if I'm misspeaking, but it feels like men operate, and I think I've said this before, like they operate in a space of like, if I do this, then everybody else is covered, where women are like, let me take care of this so then I can go be great. And it's like this, we go back and then to, and then forward, where men are like, I move forward and then everybody wins. Yeah. Which is,
that's us.
Right. I think that's just kind of one of the norms that feels like that's why
someone would say some would call it antiquated, some would call it traditional, some would call it old, some would call it patriarchal and thought, and I would call it.
I'd agree with all of that.
I would too, and I'd also call it humans. You know what I mean? Because right now it's I don't want to go off topic, but I don't think that a man shouldn't be a man. I don't think that a woman shouldn't be a woman. We talked about this already. There's certain things that you provide to this world and in our space that I just can't provide. I wasn't designed to
provide
do, you know
that.
what I mean? Now I might be able to touch on certain things because there's a level of femininity in me. There's a level of masculinity in you. You know what I mean? I'm talking about something different. Right? The water flows. I think that the Almighty puts you in gaps. He provides what you need. And once again, Jason Wilson, comprehensive. Doesn't mean perfect, but when you're comprehensive, now you can color with more crayons. 64 in the box. You know what I mean? Men are only coloring with 3. You know what I mean? There's so many other emotions and things that you can provide. So there's that, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes we get away from that. And like I said, there's times where you've been our breadwinner, and there's times where you've been a traditional wife. And both times we ate, had a good day, went to sleep, right? It worked is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So I know people don't like that idea, but I think we are the way we are on purpose, for purpose. And
as in like, so I think in our marriage, so just speaking in our marriage, I think that we do take on some of the traditional gender roles. And then we don't.
Absolutely.
In some ways. I imagine that our children will say that you are a little more, your nurturing looks different.
Absolutely.
But there is nurturing happening.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't quite align, quote unquote, with like gender roles in some spaces, right? Okay.
Yeah, there's stuff that happens in the house. Absolutely. My son's probably be like, I've seen my father sweep the floor way more than my mom has. You know what I mean? But my wife, my mom also did the bulk of the cooking, which is quote unquote traditional. Well, if you want to do the bulk of the cooking, be prepared to go out and get some more food after we finish eating, because I ain't the greatest cook. But I get what you're saying.
Right. So
I don't mind. I clean toilets, and you know what I mean? That's what I'm about. I like
but I think
house.
that's one of the bigger, that's one of the differences.
Right. She's supposed to just sit back, shut up, be grateful, and raise these babies and not care about nothing else, right?
think the messaging is, you have all of this money. Why are you complaining?
The root of it. See,
Right,
I
but I
love
think,
it.
yes, but
I
I
love
think
it.
I'm like, but I don't gather that she was complaining. You asked her a question, she answered the question, but she didn't give you the sprinkles and unicorn version.
But here's the deal. You and I have this conversation, and or I, during our conversation, say this. The root of anything is the best way to kill it or grow it or solve it. The root's the root. And the root of the social media backlash is we all hurting. What we hear is you not being grateful. Now, my heart goes out to those who think that way. But to package it up and throw it into a comment that sounds very nasty, and to throw stuff and to make her over, so to speak, is unfair. You know what I mean? An intelligent woman, and no matter how you slice it, when they were dating, she ain't know homie was going to be no NBA player. His father was, but he ain't 6'10". He went to a very small school. She ain't know. There was no guarantees. You know what I'm saying? So, just to bring it back full circle, we've lived some things. We've got some wisdom, right? Trying to land the plane here a little bit because we can go all day. A woman or a man, anyone in that situation is allowed to have feelings. They should be allowed, right? They should be allowed theoretically to express their goals, their dreams, and how they felt in a moment. They shouldn't be smacked around verbally by remedial, low vibrating thinking people, right? Now, I guarantee you when she goes back in next time, if she goes back in, she's got to now clarify, blah, 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 but she shouldn't have to because she responded directly to a question of her mindset at a time that was in the past. 4 healthy children tell you that she don't hate her kids. She doesn't hate motherhood. If you really hate something, you generally don't do it again, AKA 3 times more after the first. Come on, man. Yeah, she's blessed. Yes, they don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from. And yes, they could probably mess up and throw $100,000 down the tube, which some people will never be able to do in their lifetime, and still be okay. But that shouldn't give people the right to tear her down for responding to being a dreamer. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, kind of wild.
And that's what caught me. You caught it, something resonated with you. That's what resonated with me. They chopped down somebody who had dreams. If you want to come for me, come for my dreams. I'll punch you right in your face. That's the thing. That's the thing that separates all of us, is our level of dream, our level of ambition, our level of goal, you know what I mean? And the things that you do to go after those goals. So for people to chop that down, you know what I mean? It feels like on a grand scale that someone was crucified, nearly verbally crucified, for having dreams. How dare you have dreams because you have money? That's crazy to me.
Or how dare you want your life a certain way
because you have money.
Because you have money. And so it almost diminishes our purpose, or excuse me, not our purpose, but it diminishes the idea of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has me thinking about like my juvenile thoughts when I was so much younger, where I was thinking like, I have to make enough to pay my bills. And so anything extra is like extra. And I don't really get that. That's a cherry on top. That's not an expectation.
Ooh.
And to me, I'm just like, how does that work?
Now.
Yes, now, but then, yeah, right. But then, I mean, that it feels like she's getting like beat up for not having a survival thought. Mindset.
Right, mindset. And then the other piece of me, you know where I'm going with this. The other side of my heart is, oh man, what I hear is that we know what the numbers are. The average American is making no money now, right? It's only the top 1%, and that's a very elite few. You know what I mean? But for the most part, people are eating, barely getting by on all levels, because the middle class is officially gone,
Mhm.
right? So people are pushing or projecting their stuff onto her specifically that we're talking about. But that's in anything that you open up your app, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That's what any of this stuff is on social media, is people projecting their stuff in the comments
Mhm.
to the piece of media. Because, like I heard somebody say, a bulk of the things that we watch, somebody started filming after something popped off. So you're still catching the after effects.
Right.
Because they turned their phone on for a reason. Something already happened. So it is what it is. We're not here to defend her, so to speak, but we do have some background and we do have some wisdom in that area. We've both been dreamers. We were, before we got married, we were dreamers.
I was not a dreamer.
Not a dreamer.
So I was not
But you
a
had
dreamer,
goals.
but I had goals.
Right.
Right. So you were a dreamer and yes, hyper focused, ready. You were going to play. You didn't care what naysayers had, you were there.
Yeah.
I was like, let me take the traditional route. Let me go to school. Let me get my degree. Let me find a job with the great insurance and all that, benefit package. Those were the things that I was aspiring to. And then you totally caught me, whiplash, boom.
Yeah.
And we had to pivot. What would you say would be a takeaway, you think, from the experience? What Ayesha is saying, our own experience, and what would you give to our listeners as just a key takeaway?
A key takeaway?
Mm-hmm. Just surmising where we're at.
Without getting too deep.
Mm-hmm.
Society is comprised of a lot of different pieces and mechanisms and levers.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the major things of the society that we live in is the mindset, which I said earlier is comprised of your background, where you've been, what you've seen, what you've done, what you believe. And it's sad, to say the least, that this is a conversation. We're grateful to have the conversation. We're grateful that it materialized from something, but on the back of someone who said nothing wrong. You know what I mean? That's what I'll say, is that we're all humans, right? Money or no money. You know what I mean? Affluent or flat broke. And you should be allowed to dream. You should be allowed to have goals and stuff like that. And to come for people like that, you remedial-minded people, it shows where society is. It's just sad. Live your life, man.
Mm-hmm.
Do the best you can do and dream, have your goals and ambitions, however small, however big. And that's what I got.
Okay. So I think one of my key takeaways from what she said is the importance of identity and understanding who we are, understanding again our purpose, and being okay with living that out with the help or the support that you have from your team, and however it is that works. Some teams are small,
right?
Some villages are small, but if you've got a partner who's going to support you and you've got all that, then live out whatever that identity is that you set for yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say it like identity rather than purpose. Even though I think we just kind of shift. I was never a SAHM, and here I am, and I'm like, but I like this.
Right.
I like how this feels.
Right.
So anyway, I would say that's probably my key takeaway.
Really good stuff, man. I like it when the world can give us something that propels us into good conversation, right? I think this was good, healthy conversation, but I am, my spirit does kind of hurt for how they came for her.
Yeah.
And I don't even really mean her, how they came for her dream. That's what I hear, but like you said, it's not really about the dream. It's about how people view themselves. All of this stuff is a mirror. It's a mirror, man.
There we go.
It's a mirror. How do you feel about yourself? You know what I mean? And you're now allowed, if you have a cellular device and an app, you can click on that app, look at something for 10, 15 seconds, read the caption that makes sense or not, and then just respond and sound off.
But too often people are taking that 10-second clip and going, they done figured
They
this
done
whole,
figured the
they done
whole
figured their
thing
whole
out.
life out, not their life, the other person's
Right.
life, and that's a problem with it. But yeah,
there's that.
this is a good one.
This was a good one. I enjoyed it.
Cool.
We were kind of long-winded, but it was good.
You think so?
I enjoyed this show. This
Okay.
is something we'll probably still be talking about this afterwards because I'm still not settled in my spirit with it. This is wild. It's wild. This is a big nothing story that's become something because people ain't got their life together. Yeah, man.
I mean, we're even seeing that in responses to like the little TikTok segments that the things that you post of us. Remember?
Right. Oh yeah. Oh man, people projecting their stuff. I'm telling you.
We did. I think
People
we
are
did something
projecting
where it
their
was just like, our bed is our bed.
Right.
Do you remember?
Right.
Our bed is our bed. Our kids know what it is. Like,
right.
come say your goodnights, and then you go
And
and
you
get
go
in your
to
bed.
your bed.
How much backlash was there for?
Not a lot for that one. More so the money one. That's our money. Our money's our money. That was what the true quote.
Oh, right.
And I wouldn't have known because I don't read comments. Like I post and get off.
Oh, right.
Yes, I wouldn't even have known if my sister didn't call me and yo, she was riding for us on social.
She was gonna fight.
She had her social media gun locked, social media blickety locked and loaded. And
yeah,
I'm like, sis, leave it alone.
Don't
Some of these
bother.
people, some of this is bots too. Not even real. You know what I mean? It's not even real stuff happening here. And I'm just like, you don't gotta ride for us. It ain't real to us.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Thank God we grew up where we grew up. Even though social media is a real thing and people write real things, to us it's just a space that really doesn't, it ain't tangible. What do you mean? We're 80s babies. It's on the internet to us still. It ain't in real life to us.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
it's, you know what I mean?
Two different universes.
Right.
And
It is what it is. I post and get off.
big
you know what
internet,
I mean?
little internet.
Unless you come for my wife.
Oh.
That's when it gets ugly. But it is what it is, man. Hit the like button. Subscribe.
Yes.
Leave a good comment. I may or may not. We may or may not read the comment.
We might.
But say something good. You know what I mean? Say something good. Say something nice. Drop some notes on potential shows and ideas. And we'll play off of that. Instagram, marriage for grown folks. TikTok, marriage for grown folks. Facebook, marriage for grown folks. Start using the hashtag M4GF, right? You'll start seeing that more. And we love you guys. We appreciate your time as always, all right? We are not experts on anything, but what we do know is that we love each other. We're in this game to win it, and we hope that we can help in some capacity. Go on.